as if you're watching. All right, thank you so much. And you can also see us on Facebook right now. Our Facebook page is 92.73 FM. 3 FM. We are your urban lifestyle radio. Hey, and this segment is brought to you by the Can Cathers of Mark Bansi. Hear me now. Hey, today we are talking about Onuora. And he's known around the world and also in Jamaica as the father of Jamaican dub poetry. Now, what is dub poetry? Dub poetry is the kind of reggae music I do. You hear the beat and I talk over the beat. I recite poems over the beat. That is dub poetry. You know, we are poets, you understand? Like Mutabaruka, Linton Kwesi Johnson. This is the father of dub poetry. Now, Linton Kwesi Johnson is one of them. Mutabaruka is one of them. Mikey Smith is one of them. Today we're talking about Onuora. Oku is spelled O-K-U. Onuora is O-N-U-O-R-A. Now, Onuora was born Orlando Wong. That was his name at birth. Orlando Wong. Because he has Chinese roots. And you can see his photograph here. And you can see a little bit of Chinese in him. Chinese Jamaican. My brother, my sister, Orlando Wong. And he was born on the 9th day of March in 1952. 5 years before the independence of this country. Ghana. See what happened now? He was born in Kingston, Jamaica. Yes, Kingston, Jamaica. And he grew up in the slums of Easton, Kingston's Franklin Town. He didn't go to school, but he received informal education from a Rastafarian by name Negos. And Negos taught him how to read and write and also took him through the tenets of Rastafari. So he grew up becoming a very militant soul. Now there was a time, there was the need to build a community center in the area where he lived in Franklin Town, in Jamaica, Kingston. And the government had promised, just like Baumia goes around promising to do this and that. And when the time came for the government to deliver, the government was dragging his feet. So Onuora decided to go out there and get some people involved. They broke into banks, stole money from the bank, and came and built that community center. Now, anytime the ghettos of Kingston needed anything, like a library, like a toilet facility, and the government was delaying, they broke into the banks, robbed the banks at gunpoint, brought the money, every single penny, and pumped it into the building of these structures. He was known as the Robin Hood of Jamaica, Kingston. My brother, my sister, see what happened now? Now his area started to develop. The Kingston slums started to develop very seriously. And then his cup was full. One day there was the need to build another structure. The drainage system was so choked. And he needed some money to be able to build that. He broke into a post office and stole money from the Kingston post office. As he was coming out, the police had already surrounded the building. There was nothing he could do. He was arrested and imprisoned for 15 solid years. And when he went into prison, it wasn't any ordinary prison. They took him to one of the most dangerous prisons in Kingston. And that is known as the Fort Augusta prison. Fort Augusta prison is one of the most dangerous prisons you can find in Jamaica and also beyond. And he was treated very badly. There was a point he was even secluded. That means taken away from the rest of the prisoners. All because he tried several times to break jail and escape and join the slums of Kingston one more time. Now, Fort Augusta Adult Correctional Center, formerly known as Fort Augusta Prison, is Jamaica's only prison for women. It was built to accommodate 250 female inmates, but has held over 280 on occasions, and is been known to run short of food several times, and prisoners will go hungry for a number of days. It's one of the most dangerous prisons in the world. My brother, my sister, this was where our hero for today was taken to. Female prison. Female prison. That was where he was locked out after he tried to break jail. So they secluded him and took him to Fort Augusta. And whilst he was there, He wasn't intermingling with the females. He was locked up in a solitary confinement, aka single room jail. And that was where he was for several years. Whilst in prison, he wrote poems. So many different poems. Hey, poems. And the poems became so popular. There was a band that came to perform in prison, like I go from prison to prison in Ghana on Bob Marley Day, 11th May. Now that band came to play. And that band, my brother, my sister, was allowed into the prison where the band played alongside our hero for today, Onuora, oh my God, who was born Orlando Wong. And everybody was excited at the way he did his poetry. That was the first time they were hearing dub poetry. Reggae music with poetry recited on it. He became the founder, originator, and the father of Jamaican dub poetry, Orlando Wong, aka Oko Onuora. Bob Marley heard about him in prison. And Bob Marley was making all efforts to be able to reach out to him in prison. Oh my God. They gave him, he became the very first prisoner in the history of Jamaica to be allowed out of prison to come out and perform for children and also to sing. In fact, to recite poetry to several different crowds. My brother, my sister, and he was recorded over JBC radio. Oh, it came to a time they banned his poems because they were very militant and they would seize his poems whilst he was in his cells. But he was able to smuggle some of them out and they became extremely popular in the Jamaican ghettos and also other places in Jamaica. Today we're talking about Orlando Wong, aka Oko Onuora. Hear me now. Now, he moved from place to place performing until the Jamaican people started, in fact, agitating for his freedom. At that time, the Attorney General was called Carl Rattray. Carl Rattray was himself a poet. And when he heard the poetry from the prison, oh, they had to speak with him. The Jamaican people spoke to him, including Bob Marley, to be able to free Oko Onuora. Oh my God. And he had an equivalent of presidential pardon, and he came out of jail. When he came out of jail, oh, he immediately started touring with Mikey Smith in 1978. He went for the 11th World Festival of Youth and Students in Cuba, where he performed and caught the attention of the world. Bob Marley decided to record him. So he took him all the way into the Tough Gong studio and he recorded this song using the Wailers. So this is from the Wailers, but of course it's the music of Oko Onuora. It's called Reflections in the Red. Father of dub poetry, all the way. Oh, Della, how are you doing? Good afternoon to you. All right. So today we're talking about Oko Onuora. Hey, Bob Marley recorded him and took him under his wings. They recorded some more songs, including this one. Watch it, drop it, and make the people hear you. He became the very first dub poet in Jamaica. Long after before Mutabaruka and even Mikey Smith. My brother, my sister, this poem here says, a slum dweller declares,
we want to be free from misery. We want to live like human beings. We don't want to live and dumb amongst dead dog and fly. And if you fight junker from sky to get food for now. We want to live like any other man. You believe we come here willingly. You believe we want to pick them to grow up in a place worse than hog pen. We want to free from misery. We want to live like human beings.
We want to live from misery. We want to live and be free. We don't want to struggle with jankro over the food from the sky. Lord God have mercy. Oko Onuora. Listen, man, when he came out, he was touring big. Now it was time to get married. Everybody needs warmth. Everybody needs. He had been in jail for 15 years. He was supposed to be. And it was cold. Time now to warm his bed. Hey, he fell in love with a beautiful woman. And the bride to be, my brother, my sister, was called Adugo. Adugo. A-D-U-G-O. She was Jamaican, but she picked up African names. And she said, I truly would like to marry you, but I don't want to marry somebody whose name is Wong. I don't want to be called Mrs. Wong. That is too Chinese. That was when he changed his name to Oko Onuora. Oku Onuora. And this is Igbo. Oku Nagba Ozala Onuora is his full name. He changed his name from Orlando Wong to Oku Nagba Ozala Onuora. And what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of his name? My brother, my sister, can you guess what the name means? Oku means fire or light which burns oppression, whilst Onuora means voice of the people. Now his full name is Oku Nagba Ozala Onuora, and it translates into everlasting fire or light which burns oppression day after day with no rest. Oku Nagba Ozala Onuora. Oko Onuora is still alive and is still doing poetry. He writes plays and he also writes poems. He's been directing poems and plays in so many different places in Jamaica. Today we remember you, Papa. Papa, me sit and there kai you, Papa. Papa, why you be what? Papa, me say why you be Oko Onuora. We wish you more life and we wish you, greater times ahead.
Papa mula home, mama mula home, how na ima vinye, banum po.
In the burden of knowledge, now that you know what to do, be an any layer mini oba fe yezuda kagani, mezaka yine ya pabango bokaya nang, fifi ya nyanu kai na woba na enhu ebe yeden, lele ya njima singa be konne, lele ya njima singa beri. It's been the African history class, brought to you by the kind courtesy of Mark Bansi.
The emperor, the conqueror, the champion.